Welcome to the third game of this series. Your Tabor College Blue Jays starting 2-0 in conference play yesterday, and they're looking to sweep the Avila Eagles here in Hillsboro. Another beautiful day for baseball. I'm Charles Beal alongside my partner today, Dawson Dreyer, and we're going to go through the starting lineups. Actually, we're going to go through the KCAC standings and take a look at that. You see Friends University 4-0, played a couple of extra games. McPherson had a really solid day yesterday, and there's Tabor 2-0, 11-5 overall. Avila 0-2 and 7-8 overall. And the starting lineups for the Avila Eagles, much of the same of yesterday. Number 5 leading off, the catcher Zach Linson, batting .237 on the season. Batting second is the center fielder Henry Morphew, who had a really good day yesterday. 2 home runs, 4 home runs on the season. Batting in the 3 holes, number 18, the first baseman Trace Clickenbeard, batting .325 on the season. Batting cleanup, the third baseman Hunter Reed, who had a really solid day in the field yesterday, batting .313 on the season. Batting 5th is shortstop Grant Burns. Batting 6th is the left fielder Jerome McKenzie. Batting 8th, the second baseman Christian Perez. Batting 9th, the right fielder Jake Verdon. Pitching for the Eagles, pitched a little bit yesterday, is Cole Nichols, coming in with an ERA of 22.50. Only 4 innings pitched, so a small sample size on the season. And as you see on the screen there, the starting lineup for the Blue Jays. Leading off is the center fielder Pat Bethea, batting .268. Batting second, Matt Johnson, who really swung the bat well in the first game. Didn't have anything to show for it, but had a couple of extra base hits in the second, batting .214 on the season. Batting third is Christian Stone, the second baseman. And batting cleanup is Kelsey Weems, batting .368 on the season with 4 home runs, which leads this team, as well as 17 RBIs, tops on the team. After him is the left fielder Joey Witkowski, batting .314 on the season. Batting 6 is a catcher Leo Aguilar, who really swung the bat well and also called 2 good games yesterday at .262. Following him is Rudy Vasquez, and Rudy really had a solid day at the plate, especially in Game 2. Had 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. Batting 8th is the first baseman Josh Jones, the Wichita native, and rounding out the lineup is the third baseman Reed Millwood. Pitching for the Blue Jays is Drake Gerard, the sophomore who started at third base yesterday. Number 4 in the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference in ERA, has a 1.71 ERA. 21 innings pitched and 21 strikeouts on the season. So, Dawson, what have you seen this season from the Blue Jays? You're a player on this team, tore your labrum, so unfortunately you're sitting out with an injury. But what have you seen this team, not only on the field but in the dugout?
Definitely, I think compared from last year, this team is super close. We're always doing things, even outside of baseball together. Everyone is in here, whether it's even just during practice or even after practice, coming in, getting extra swings, pitchers working on their flat grounds. Everyone has devoted their time to this team and wants everyone to succeed, which is, I think, a big difference compared to last year with some of the guys we had last year. We had a good team last year. I just don't feel as though that our closeness last year compares to anything like this year. I've never been on a team, I don't think, that is for each other and plays for each other like this team. And
that seems to be everyone saying that, how close this team is. So you guys went on the road. You played all those games down in Texas. You come back. How nice is it to be back here playing games in Hillsboro?
Oh, there's nothing better, especially with how the field looks right now and how we've taken care of it. But it's just that nothing better than that home feeling, being home, having your own fans come out and support you. It's a little different when you're down in Texas. You don't have a lot of fans other than some of our guys from Texas, but it makes it real nice being able to come back, play our games at home, and just kind of show everyone here at Tabor, what Tabor baseball is and what we're about, kind of.
And you guys, I mean, you had a couple of fans show up in Texas, but I think that's more of the families from the guys.
Yeah, we have some guys from Texas that came down. I know Drake's family came down. I'm sure they're listening tonight too. So.
And it's a beautiful day. I mean, in February, this is the 1st of March, but yesterday was a beautiful day. 63 degrees here at the beginning of this game. Cloudy, and the wind is not blowing as crazy as it was yesterday.
Definitely not like yesterday.
You hit a pop-up to left center field, and it was going to go all the way to the tennis courts. But the strengths of this team from your vantage point, early on in the season, what are they?
I think pitching really this year, and I know I'm a pitcher myself, so I can't talk a whole lot about that, but I think this year pitching was something that really has kind of surprised everyone, because at the beginning of the season we were kind of worried about pitching because we knew all of our guys on the field could hit and that we were going to hit. We were just worried our pitching was, but I think our pitching has kind of been one of the biggest things that stepped up. Drake's been throwing really good innings. Tony's came back now and he's throwing really good innings too, and Dante and Watts has always been throwing good too. Everyone just doing their part and kind of filling in their position and finding their role on this team.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see.
And Tabor has 3 of the top 4 in the conference in earned run average. Drake Gerard, one of those 3. The other ones is Derek Watts and Riley Olsen.
Yes, and Riley Olsen's been throwing really well too. He's just hurt right now. Well, kind of coming back from an injury with his elbow. So
As the first pitch of the game from Gerard, a swinging strike from the right-hander from Midlothian, Texas. And Drake, a two-way player. Not only does he perform well on the mound, but as a day-to-day player in the field for the Blue Jays when he's not pitching, as he throws that one in there, found back 0-2 count. Good start from Drake.
always commanded the zone. He's not afraid to attack hitters, that's for sure.
So what's his arsenal, right? His pitch, what does he have?
So he's got his four-seam fastball along with a cutter that he throws sometimes, not a whole lot, and then he also works with his curveball and slider and throws his changeup too. But his curveball is really good, as you see right there.
My goodness. Froze the leadoff hitter for the Eagles, so very good start for the Blue Jays and Drake Gerard. 3-pitch strikeout to start the game. That's going to bring up Henry Morphew, batting .366 on the season. 2 home runs yesterday, 4 on the season, which leads this Eagles club. And it's going to be a righty-on-lefty matchup. Gerard works from the windup with nobody on base, fires another strike. 4 pitches, 4 strikes. You really like to see that. How important is it at the beginning of the game, coming from a pitcher like yourself, at the beginning of the game just to throw strikes?
I think that's one of the most biggest parts of this game, I think, in order to come in and just as a team, especially when you're at home and you're the first pitcher out there setting that tone and coming out and getting that first inning out of the way, because then that sets you guys up to go hit, as well as it's anything like that. Even as a bullpen guy, being able to come in and command the zone is just huge.
As we have an 0-2 count here, 5 straight strikes to start the game for Drake Gerard.
A little quick pitch right there.
Fastball fouled back by Morphew, so Gerard really in his element right now to start the game, much like Derek Watts yesterday, just throwing a lot of strikes, being very efficient. From the windup, breaking pitch, grounded to the right side. Christian Stone charging, making a nice play for the easy out. 2 gone here in the bottom of the first inning. Dawson, so going within the team, what is the expectations and what is the measures for success for this team in the dugout?
I think the biggest expectation, and we had that when we went down to Kansas City and didn't really perform the way we wanted to perform. I think Skip said, our expectations coming in at Tabor College is to win. You know, we're not here to lose, and we're not going to accept losing. You know, it's something that over the years you've seen, just like that 14-15 season that they had, that it is a tone to be set that when you come in here to play, you're here to win, and you're here to blow out every team and play as a team together, which I think is probably the biggest expectation that Coach Stanford has. I mean, he's known what it's like to win, and he wants everyone to win, and each team that he has to come in with that tone of we're here to play baseball and kind of set that standard for Tabor.
And so you guys are the championship is the ultimate goal in the game.
Yep. Always talk about Lewiston. Never we said that you come in not expecting to go to Lewiston. That's where we want to go, and that's our end goal every single year, I think.
As a 2-1 count to the first baseman, Trace Clickenbeard of the Eagles, as a Gerard looking for a 1-2-3 top of the first inning. From the windup, fastball fouled back, 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And a lot of new faces on this team.
Yes.
And the entire outfield are new guys. Talking about Witkowski, Bethea, and Weems. And it seems like everyone, not only just in the field in general, but with each other, have come along and get along seamlessly.
It was one of those kind of rare things where I think we played together a couple times. You kind of hung out. We kind of got that feeling of being around each other, and ever since then we've just grown. I think that's most importantly because people found their roles on this team and they understand what situation there is, whether that's being a starting guy every single day or being a guy who comes in when someone like Drake pitches, like Reed has done this year. Which has been really awesome.
The payoff pitch is fouled away by Clickenbeard. But, it's really a joy to see everyone just get along in the dugout. And a guy like Cole Hajaz yesterday getting his first hit. The game was well out of reach at that point. The score is 27-2. And he gets his first hit and the entire dugout explodes. And you could just see the excitement. It's just really good to see when a team can come together like that. As Clickenbeard pops this one up to shallow left field. Witkowski has a beat on it, though, and makes the catch to retire. The side 1, 2, 3 go the Eagles in the top of the first. The Blue Jays are coming up. We'll go to the bottom of the first next.
Sooner or later, you might need some extra storage space. When that day comes, Fleming's Mini Store All is ready and waiting. Fleming's Mini Store All has 5 locations and has been serving the Hillsborough and Marion area since 1990. They've got a variety of storage size options and can even handle boats and RVs. To learn more, just visit FlemingsMiniStoreAll.com or give them a call at 620-382-5550. Fleming's Mini Store All, the solution for your storage problems.
And we are back in the bottom of the first inning, leading off for the Blue Jays, the center fielder, the Louisville, Texas native, Patrick Bethea. You see his statistics on the screen. Leads the team in stolen bases. Top 10 in the KCAC. And on the mound for the Eagles, made an appearance yesterday because Cole Nichols, the right-hander, goes from the windup. Bethea slowly grounds it to the shortstop. Grant Burns makes the easy throw across the diamond to retire the speedy Bethea. 1 out quickly here in the bottom of the first inning. You know, Bethea has big shoes to fill. Freddie Walker, graduating last season, was one of the better center fielders in recent memory here at Tabor College. And Bethea is really not only at the plate and on the base path, but specifically defensively in center field has been nails.
Yes. No, and and Freddie too, but having Pat back there as a pitcher and just our whole defense in general, I think, is super self-confident, being able to know that even though there's a hard line drive, deep in the park here, you got guys that are fast enough and quick enough that'll get there like Pat.
Yep. As Matt Johnson to the plate, 1-1 is our count. Johnson was in a slump to start the season, batting below 200, but yesterday had a really good day at the plate and is now batting .214. Saw his batting average rise 30 points yesterday. Nichols from the stretch now as Johnson hits that one weakly to right field, but it's going to dump down for a hit. Hit it off the end of the bat a little bit, but good location. He hit so many balls yesterday right at players, just on the nose, and of course that one finds a hole in right field.
Sometimes you got to hit a duck snort to get her started.
Johnson, one of the leading base stealers on this team, 4 for 5 on the season in stolen bases attempt. That brings up Christian Stone. You see his statistics on the season on the screen. Hit a home run yesterday off the foul pole, one of many Blue Jays to hit a long ball yesterday. It's good to see the bats come alive here in Hillsborough. As now, as a team, this is an interesting statistic. Coming into the game yesterday, batting .229 collectively as a team, Blue Jays saw that batting average rise almost above 30 points, now batting .264 as a ball club. So yesterday, really good for the Blue Jays at the plate.
I think we had, 23 hits in that second game, 22, something like that.
A lot of hits, which is a good sign, too. Coming into conference play, starting the conference playoff strong. Blue Jays, of course, 2-0. One of 4 undefeated teams inside of KCAC play They'll be back here Tuesday against Bethany. As ball low, Bethany beat Oakwoo yesterday, 20-14, and I believe they lost a second game. So they split with Oakwoo, who is in the top 25 rankings in the NAIA, as Nichols from the stretch fires a strike on the outside part of the plate. 3-1 is our count.
It's a bit of a surprise seeing Bethany pull
Yeah.
that off.
McPherson, too. McPherson has a 14-4 overall record, 2-0 inside of conference play, and they put a 30-piece up yesterday against St. Mary's. So that series will be a fun one to watch against the Blue Jays and the Bulldogs coming up. But they still have business here to finish against Avila, wanting a sweep. Nichols from the stretch, a breaking pitch. Just missed the outside part of the plate. Stone froze to see if it was a strike called, but Blue Jays, after the first batter was retired, have runners on first and second with one out, with Kelsey Weems coming up. I am not sure if Kelsey saw a fastball at all yesterday, just
Not
throwing
much.
him nothing but breaking pitches. We'll see if that trend continues today, as you see the Charlotte, North Carolina native leading the teams in home runs and runs batted in.
I think that's what makes him so special as a four-hole hitter, though, because he hits the curveball so well, and he's not afraid to even get those first-pitch curveballs over that.
Yeah.
A pitcher, in their mindset, they don't want to swing at that, but Kelsey is not afraid to hit those, and I think that's what makes him so lethal right now, is because he can hit both pitches very well, and he can hit to any part of the ball field.
And he's aggressive early in the
Very
count,
aggressive.
and it's good to see that the Blue Jays, one of the biggest needs coming into the season was a cleanup hitter. Lost a lot of pop last year, and Weems has fit that description so far this year, as he fouls out, beg your pardon, a slow roller in front of the plate, and the catcher throws down to second. Stone is able to beat the throw. Be interesting to see what that goes down in the score sheet. But Weems, off the end of his bat, nubbed it in front. The catcher, Zach Linson, threw it high to second base. Stone, with a lot of speed, was able to beat it out as the throw brought the shortstop Grant Burns off the bag. Bases now loaded for Joey Witkowski, who had a good game. Another one of those new faces, had a really good day yesterday, as you see the replay right there.
I think that was good for Joey yesterday to get that spot back.
Yeah.
Now he just looks so much more confident at the plate now that he did. I mean, he started off hot, kind of had a couple games where he was struggling a little bit, and now he's back hot again, which is really helpful for this team, just having that lefty with that confidence, especially here at this park, being able to hit balls, and just like he did yesterday, hit that huge home run.
And as you mentioned, just a huge home run yesterday that he hit in the bottom of the 8th inning. Blue Jays trailing by 2 at the time, tied the game up. You know, if he doesn't hit that, not sure if the Blue Jays rally back, and just a huge hit.
That was definitely our spark yesterday, I think.
Jameson, who else? It's you, Dave. And a ball low to Joey Witkowski with the bases loaded. 1 out, 1-0 goes the count. So Blue Jays threatening here in the bottom of the first inning. Like to see some runs on the board if you're the Blue Jays to continue that trend yesterday. Nichols fires a little bit low. Count goes to 2-0. First base and third base playing at the edge of the grass. Middle infield playing at double play depth, hoping for a double play ball.
It's a really good eye right there by Joey.
There's a number of Blue Jays that have a pretty patient approach at the plate. I know Johnson Matt Johnson struggling with batting average. Came in yesterday with a 178 batting average, but his on-base percentage was borderline 400. Good breaking pitch right there by Nichols.
Josh Jones, I think, was one yesterday, too. I saw, I think, yesterday in the first game, I think almost for sure his first 3, maybe even his fourth one, he was in 3-0 counts every time. Just good at not, falling into those pitches that pitchers are trying to get guys to swing at, which is really good. That helps.
As Nichols fires another breaking pitch. Good pitch there by Cole Nichols. But going back to yesterday, the first game especially, because base runners were at a premium for the Blue Jays. Just 2 hits through 7 innings. Both of those hits coming from the Blue Jay pitcher today, Drake Gerard. And so base runners via the walk, and I believe somebody got hit by pitch. As count goes full, no place to put Witkowski with the bases loaded. Cole Nichols, the freshman from Jupiter, Florida for the Eagles on the mound. And again, just pitched 4 innings coming into the game. Has a bloated ERA due to the short sample size as he works from the stretch to Witkowski. Fires it in there, and a diving play. And I believe he caught it in the air on the line, and he just continues to flash that leather. Then that is Hunter Reed at the hot corner. My goodness, he made a number of plays yesterday that were extremely impressive.
Kelsey's lucky there. He didn't get picked right there for that double play.
Yeah,
that
good call. Yeah, Weems had ventured well off the bag at first, and a good throw would have doubled him up. So Cole Nichols getting great defense behind him. That would have scored 2. But robbing Witkowski of a base hit was Hunter Reed. Now with 2 outs and the bases loaded, Leo Aguilar, who again had a great day at the plate yesterday, 2 home runs. His first 2 home runs in a Blue Jay uniform. Beg your pardon, his second and third home run in a Blue Jay uniform. And batting .262, his batting average rose 50 points yesterday with a good day at the plate. Would be a great here for a hit. A breaking pitch from Nichols, misses outside. Count goes to 1-1.
Working that curveball really early in all these counts, it's kind of starting to look like.
Yeah, fastball looks like it's maybe mid to upper 70, so you have to bring that breaking pitch in to keep these Blue Jay hitters at bay.
Oh, what a read right there by Matt.
So there's a breaking pitch in the dirt, and Matt Johnson was able to see that the catcher was just confused. The ball didn't scamper away too far from the catcher, but Johnson, with the presence of mind to see that he was having trouble picking up where it went, was able to score without even sliding. And then Weems, again, venturing a little bit too far off of first, able to get back.
His confidence on the base path is awesome. And he's a pretty fast guy for how tall he is.
Yeah, I think Jake Jones was mentioning his athleticism is just a freak athlete.
Yes.
And on the season, Kelsey has 5 stolen bases, second on the team. See if he's stealing here with a 3-1 count. To Leo Aguilar, runners at the corners for the Blue Jays, scored a run. And there is Kelsey, and the ball hits Leo, so bases loaded again. This time for probably the hottest hitter on this Blue Jays squad in Rudy Vasquez. Rudy, another one, he's a new guy this year again.
Yep.
I believe by way of College of the Sequoias. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yep. Batting .385. Both of his home runs, his first and second in a Blue Jay uniform, came yesterday, along with 6 RBIs in the second game. Almost had a third home run hit at the top of the fence in right field. Coming up now with Ducks on the pond.
It's always nice as a pitcher, too, to get those runs early, especially in that first inning as a confidence booster. That changes that mindset where you know that you got some runs to be backed up behind you.
And you see Vasquez in the front of the batter's box as he takes a called strike on a fastball with the bases loaded. Tabor in their home baby blue uniforms, dark blue trim on the numerals. Avila in their home away black uniforms. Gold lettering. So as a player, what are your favorite uniforms? I know you guys have several. Which ones do you like the best?
Gotta love the baby blue. That's the best one for sure. I tried talking to Skip in the other day to getting us some old throwbacks like the Royals with the baby blue jerseys and baby blue pants, but he didn't like that idea that much.
Well, Rudy's look is good. You got the baby blue stirrups, wear them high.
Rudy's all about that style. He got that flow.
Yeah, got the hair going. But he's down in a 1-2 count. Cole Nichols from the stretch, bases loaded.
And he
almost hit him. Ball gets away to the backstop. Christian Stone is going to be able to score without a slide. Moves to runners up to second and third. 2 runs have scored here in the bottom of the first. Both of them on pass balls and wild pitches.
Christian about ran into the umpire right there. I don't know how that good that would have been.
2-2 count now to Vasquez.
Chance for a 2-out hit right here.
As Vasquez to Hunter Reed, ranging to his left, showing off his defensive skills. Once again, retires Vasquez at first. The damage is done here in the bottom of the first inning. The Blue Jays score 2. We go to the top of the second. Blue Jays leading 2-0. Leading off the top of the second for the Eagles is a third baseman, Hunter Reed. Made a couple of nice plays in the bottom of the first inning to save several runs for the Eagles. Takes the ball outside from Gerard.
He had a couple of hits yesterday, too. I think he had a home run, yesterday.
He had a home run to take the lead. Down 4-3. His home run gave Avila a 5-4 lead. Takes a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Their cleanup hitter. Has the Rudy Vasquez flow going as Gerard from the stretch. And Reed flies this one deep to left field. Tracking it is Witkowski, and into the trees it goes. Second home run of the weekend for Hunter Reed, making great plays in the field and showing off his bat as he cuts the lead in half. 2-1 is our score here in Hillsborough after that home run by Hunter Reed, who is playing extremely well.
It's a very tough out as a guy, especially because yesterday I believe his home run was over right field, so he can just hit the ball everywhere around the park. Showed that, and he showed how good he is defensively behind, saving his pitchers a bunch of runs yesterday by some of the plays he made and a couple diving plays.
Yeah. Going to bring up Grant Burns to the plate. For the Eagles, the shortstop. As Gerard looks to bounce back, a swing and a miss by Grant. Gerard, this one fouled away, 0-2 count. Want to give a shout out to our guys in the control room, Mike Jameson. I believe he has a PhD, so let's call him Dr. Mike. He's doing everything over there. Also, Oscar Salvador is doing the replay, and Desmond Barnes, the Tabor Blue Jay senior basketball player, doing all the graphics over there in the control room. I'd like to give them a shout out, doing great work with the camera and graphics. And, of course, our sports information director, David Ediger, for getting all this brought to you. Borderline pitch called a ball, 1-2 count. So again, this pitching staff, and just like the outfield, Watts is the only veteran coming back, and even Tony Horn was kind of an unknown coming out of the bullpen, but Watts has really stepped up as almost an ace in the rotation, and Horn has really stepped up as the go-to guy out of the bullpen.
Yes.
So talk about the new guys and what they bring to the table. You talked a little bit about Dante Nelson. Also, Drake didn't pitch that much last year, played almost exclusively at shortstop. So what do these new guys in the rotation bring?
I think one of the biggest ones so far this season, he isn't new, is Riley Olsen coming out from last year. just noticing this is his senior year and noticing how everything has changed, not only on the mound but in the weight room and how he's acted. He's been more of like a senior role model this year and showing, and as well as showing on the mound, throwing really well. I know we were just talking about it just a little bit ago. Caden Everett has been one of the biggest surprises for sure, I think, as well. Just being a young guy, not knowing where he stands, and then he comes out that first week in Texas in a really big and tough situation with runners on second and third, and comes out and gets out of that for us. And he's just showing how dominant he could be on the mound and how these 4 years for him could help him grow. And I could see big things coming from him for sure, just because of how many pitches he has with his curveball is really good, as well as fastball sitting to upper 80s right now, even as a freshman.
This is just pretty amazing. Get Coach Staniford and Coach Andy Davis to work on his mechanics, because I believe the Tabor alum Jacob Webb, as this ball's fouled off, has it getting a read on it is Reed Millwood, but Tabor alum Jacob Webb now coming back from Tommy John with the Braves, Atlanta Braves, that is. He came in from a JUCO in Cali throwing low 80s. He left throwing low to mid 90s. And now with the Braves, he sits around 94 coming out of the bullpen. Had an ERA less than 1.5 in the majors, which is amazing. Of course, this Tabor Blue Jays would love to see their alums doing well, especially in the MLB. I believe he's one of the first players from the KCAC to reach it to the major league, so it's really impressive. And he was a part of that 2014-2015 team that you had mentioned, as this ball hit to Matt Johnson in the hole. He was thinking about going to second. I think he actually had to play at first, didn't realize that the batter, Christian Perez, stumbled out of the box, but runners at first and second will go down as a hit. Eagles threatening here after the home run by Hunter Reed, have runners again at first and second. It's going to bring up Jose Meza, the designated hitter. Blue Jays playing double play depth. Millwood, another one of those guys playing third base for the Blue Jays, who didn't play last year, came in this year. He's getting a spot start with Gerard on the mound.
Especially kind of how I was mentioning earlier with how guys have found their role, Reed being one of our biggest hype guys in the in the locker room, as well as just finding his role for this team and knowing that he might not start every game, but yet the times that he does start, he proves himself and he provides this team and just has like such a great attitude, which is so much different than kind of how we had it last year with some of our guys.
Which is good to see when you, especially, I was talking to Mason Fast the other day, and Mason, who is has one of the top batting averages on the team, but not many at bats, but he has a great attitude.
Yes.
He knows that when he gets called upon, he's going to give his best effort. Batting .375 on the season. But just a great attitude. Just you see that leadership. You just love it when people aren't getting really petty about not playing, and they're just supporting their guys on the field, and everyone just wants to win.
Which is what makes our team, I think, so good and so much better than what we worked with last year.
Drake fires that fastball in there. Where does his fastball sit, if you know?
I believe with the gun, I've done the gun sometimes from Wise pitch. I believe he sits about 84, 85 usually. Sometimes pumps it up 86, 87.
So mid-80s.
Mid-80s.
Yeah.
Mid-80s was just 4 other nasty pitches. He just works really well. He commands every pitch really well at the plate and isn't afraid to throw each pitch whenever he wants.
And I was talking to Jake Jones yesterday, and he was just saying everyone forgets that Gerard's a sophomore, as a swing and a miss by Meza goes down. Gerard's second strikeout of the game, but everyone forgets that Gerard is a true sophomore. So another young guy. I mean, he has the potential to grow in his arsenal and his arm strength. That's going to bring up the 9-hole hitter, the right fielder, Jake Verdon.
Yeah, go ahead.
2 outs now in the inning.
Yeah, no, Drake for sure just plays like almost like a senior. I mean, almost everyone on this team, I think, and just coming from me, I think they would agree that he's one of our veterans, almost just how he plays. Even though he's not a veteran, he just plays with so much confidence and works really well with this group of guys. And even being my roommate, I kind of know him pretty well, so just getting along. He's a hardworking guy. I never know a time when he's not just sitting in his room wanting to go hit or go lift or do something. He's always in there putting in extra work, and it shows it pays off here for him.
Speaking of kind of at all hours you guys have access to this facility. How do you guys utilize that? Because it's pretty rare for any IA team to have that.
Yeah, very, very thankful for the people who donated this for us, and it's really awesome to be able to use this. But guys in here 24/7. We have guys put stuff, see guys in here at 11, 12 o'clock at night coming in to get extra work. Guys coming in an hour to an hour and a half before practice, stretching, getting prepared for practice, because we know that's what this team is kind of provided before that, and guys are just utilizing that, and I think that's why it's kind of showing why each guy on this team is finding that spot with what they have and how they can work, just because everyone's motivated to work real hard.
The 1-2 count. Verdon grounds it to Millwood, goes the easy route, steps on third to be the third out of the top of the second. The Eagles get one run in the form of a Hunter Reed home run. They don't do any more damage. We go to the bottom of the second. Blue Jays leading 2-1. Leading off the bottom of the second inning for the Blue Jays, Wichita native Josh Jones, the younger brother of third base coach and former Tabor legend Jake Jones. Josh had a hit yesterday, was on base 4 times. Takes that one in there for a call strike as Cole Nichols still back on the mound. Lowered his ERA even though he gave up 2 runs last inning a little bit. Defense playing straight up center field, a little bit shallow. And again, wind will not be a factor today, just like it was yesterday. Yesterday, it was absolutely blowing out to left center field. I think I might have had an opportunity to hit a home run if I could put it in the airstream, which says a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. Who knows? If Skip would have gave me a swing yesterday, maybe I could have too. It sure seemed like it.
As Jones hit this one to deep center field. Morphew tracking it and ranging to his right. Good range by number 28, the center fielder, Henry Morphew, who really swung the bat well this weekend and showing off his range. Josh hit that one right on the nose.
Not a pitch where you want to throw 0-2 right there.
Good swing by Josh. He's going to bring up number 60, Reed Millwood, the Illinois native, batting a .176 on the young season. Batting in the 9 hole today for the Blue Jays, Bethea on deck. Nichols now from the stretch, throws a fastball, just misses on the outside part of the plate. 2-0 is our count.
Pretty impressed with how he's throwing where he's living low and kind of hitting spots. He's not throwing bad right now, especially for a freshman.
And he was really able to limit the damage thanks to that really amazing Hunter Reed catch at third base as Millwood grounds this one to the right side. And Christian Perez muffs it. And so Millwood would reach via the error. Runner on first, 1 out, brings up the top of the lineup, Pat Bethea. Grounded out his first time.
Reed wearing number 60 today. Right before the game, he opened up his jersey in his locker, and we've been having kind of a mouse problem lately, and he got his right where the B was on the Blue Jay got eaten by a mouse.
Oh, boy.
So we had to get him a new jersey before the game, so repping number 60 well today.
Hey, 60 looks good on him. Always fun to see those non-traditional numbers as Bethea steps in. Fastball taken for a strike on the outside. Part to the plate. 0-1 our count. Millwood on the base path this season has yet to attempt a stolen base as he scampers back to first on the pickoff attempt by Nichols. Defense now playing double play depth. Bethea, one of the Blue Jays to not have multiple hits in the starting lineup this week and had a hit yesterday. As this ball goes to the backstop, advancing to second is Millwood. One count, but now with runner in scoring position, Blue Jays looking to add to their lead 2-1. 2 runs came in the bottom of the first inning via the pass ball and a wild pitch, and Millwood almost advancing to third. That would have been a pass ball, but
looks like a little miscommunication right there, I think, by the pitcher and the catcher.
Yeah, I think Linson was expecting a breaking pitch, and Nichols threw a fastball. You're going to get that every once in a while with a freshman on the mound.
Yep.
Making just his third appearance in his collegiate career is Cole Nichols. Breaking pitch outside misses. Bobbled again by Linson. Runs the count 3-1. So kind of take us through the process before the game. So you guys got up this morning. You have any meetings before the game? You guys. So take me through the pregame routine.
So the nice thing on Sundays is actually we came here at 10 o'clock for our 1 o'clock game, and we have our chapel today. Since it's on a Sunday, we actually have one of our players, Cody DeRozier, leads that, and he does an amazing job. He's
nice.
Leads our chapels, and then after that, kind of just we all have our group meetings of just Skip kind of talking to us and explaining what our approach is for today, and then kind of from there we go and hit BP and go from there basically. But just as a team, talking about personnel, pitchers and hitters, having that approach that day, knowing that, hey, today, the wind's not blowing out 35 miles an hour, so don't go up to the plate swinging for the fences how you would. Each and every day it's like that, and just kind of learning from that, and how we go is just how Skip kind of rolls, and that his knowledge as a coach is just so much helpful, especially Jake too. Jake's knowing just between pitchers and hitters what to do and different approaches is very helpful on a team like that.
Because Jake was one of those guys, came in to Tabor as a pitcher, and then he transitioned to a utility infielder, outfielder, and was able to be all-conference his senior year. As Matt Johnson steps to the plate, raised his batting average up a little bit, 1 for 1. The lone Blue Jay hit, now batting .225, takes the ball outside 2-0 our count with 1 out. But you talked about those adjustments. Yesterday, talked to Coach Standiford a little bit about the in-game adjustments you guys made, especially in that 8th inning when the Blue Jays were able to score 5 runs, ended up winning the game 8-6. I mean, the adjustments are just amazing. How you guys are able to make them before the game, kind of going into it, and then in the middle of the game, talking to the hitters to what they're seeing and how they should adjust their approach.
Yeah, the knowledge I think of our hitters and just down the line of every hitter we have, I think is super great, especially with what they learn and how, within our meetings we talk about that kind of stuff, and the confidence level of being able to change mid-game and knowing what each pitcher is and what they're throwing, being able to adjust to that is really cool to see on this team.
Yeah. As Matt Johnson has a 3-1 count, runners at first and second. Blue Jays another opportunity to tack on a run here in the bottom of the second. Nichols shakes off a couple of pitches. Now finds one he likes. Johnson digs in. Takes the ball inside for a walk. Base is now loaded for Christian Stone, who walked in his first at bat. We got a mound visit here from the Avila coach, Darryl Cronk, in his 9th season with the Eagles. A very brief meeting with the freshman, Nichols. And Christian Stone, just a small guy, but in his Tabor career has double-digit home runs. Has a lot of pop in that bat. Now batting 200, added a home run yesterday.
Very level swing and just super confident at the plate and just super confident with everything he does. We got a pass ball.
The third Blue Jay run coming via the wild pitch or pass ball. Now runners move up to second and third with the run scoring, so the score is now 3-1 Tabor. But you talk about Christian, he's very confident. The senior from North Carolina, one of 2 North Carolina natives in this starting lineup. The Eagles now bring the infield in to try to save a run.
Stone all around, kind of a guy who just leads by example. Not the most talkative guy, but when you watch him on the field, just seeing how he holds himself and his confidence level, like we were saying, it's just something I think guys just kind of take and they improve with that and grow with that, and it makes everyone else better.
As Stone skies this one to medium depth in left center field. Morphew has a beat on it, should be deep enough to score. Bethea, the throw comes into third. As Johnson stays at second. Stone does his job, scores the runner at third. Blue Jays now extend that lead to 4-1. Still have runner in scoring position for Kelsey Weems.
Kind of going off that right there, I think one of the biggest things, too, that this team has done has been being able to have team ABs instead of IABs, which is kind of some things we talk about sometimes. Guys not worrying about their own stats, just trying to do things for the whole team. And I think that is also, like we said, been one of the biggest things that has helped this team grow and mature.
And when he can manufacture runs with those ABs, as Johnson takes off for third, had a really good jump, gets in there safely just before the throw. Good throw by the catcher, Zach Linson, but Johnson with his speed able to snag his 5th base of the season. But talking about manufacturing runs, when you do all the little things, hit the ball to the right side when you have a runner at second with less than 2 outs, and just doing all those things, you can steal wins inside a conference and in the postseason playing when you can do those things really effectively.
And finding ways to score with runners on base, too, I think is huge. Something we kind of struggled with last year as a team was not scoring when we had those opportunities. And I think this year these guys have proved that we can do that, and we can obviously manufacture a lot of runs, as yesterday showed.
Just a few runs in game number 2. 1-1 is the count to Weems. Looking to add to his team-leading RBI total as he takes the ball outside. The count runs to 2-1. And again, a beautiful day here in Hillsboro. The sun is not shining. There are clouds in the sky, but temperature sits in the mid-60s. With that being said, probably be a little bit of snow next week.
That's Kansas for you.
As a breaking pitch over the head of Weems taken, count goes to 3-1. A hitter's count. So if you're on the mound right now, got a runner at third, down 4-1 with the cleanup hitter up 3-1 count, first base open. What's going through your mind?
Don't hang a curveball to this guy. Especially knowing Kelsey, and if I know him like that, I know him kind of a little bit more than everyone else. But I think knowing when you got a runner on third and you have 2 bases open, that it's okay to not throw your pitches right there for him. I think you can focus on getting another guy out, especially with a lefty coming up right here. If I'm on the mound, lefty is a little bit easier to throw to against than throwing against a guy Kelsey's size and with his bat speed. So
Witkowski 0 for 1 in the game, got robbed of a RBI hit by Hunter Reed in the first inning. Coming up here in the second with runners at the corners. As swing and a miss. Joey trying to send that one to San Diego. It was a pretty healthy hack. 0-1 our count with 2 outs. Witkowski grounds out one, and it's going to be called fair by the home plate umpire. Was a bang play, whether it was fair or foul, but it's going to be called fair. Blue Jays score 2 here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. They now lead 4-1. We go to the top of the 3rd here in Hillsboro. Top of the 3rd inning here in Hillsboro. Leading off is the leadoff hitter. Catching is Zach Linson. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Drake has 2 strikeouts and 2 innings of work so far. 2 hits by the Eagles. Actually out hitting the Blue Jays 2-1. Blue Jays lead, however, 4-1 as Gerard works from the windup fastball, misses outside.
I don't know if Drake liked that call or not. Shook his head up there.
Okay, so as a pitcher in the MLB, it's now the analytics are being used a lot more. And they say the 3rd time through the order, the pitcher, it's really tough for the pitcher because the players can make adjustments. Do you see that really a big factor at this level of baseball?
To an extent, maybe. I know, like lots of guys, I know Derek Watts, I think, when it comes, what he does. And I think a lot of guys do. I know Drake does it a little bit, too, with his changeup when he starts working it in. I think he tries those first few innings just to work on a couple of his pitches. Yeah. And that way, by the 3rd time they come up through the order, now you can throw your changeup a little bit more, your slider a little bit more to keep guys off balance. You just finding ways like that to do.
Linson popped this one up. Aguilar chasing, but just beyond his reach. But you see now more and more in the MLB, pitchers getting pulled at 4 2/3 innings because the managers do not want them to go through the lineup a 3rd time because statistics shows that 1st, 2nd time through the order, a team might bat 120, 124 collectively, but that 3rd time through the order, they bat 350, which is a huge jump in batting average. But yet not sure if that is a factor here in the KCAC as a breaking ball just misses on the inside. Count runs full. Payoff pitch fouled off behind the plate into foul territory. No play for Aguilar. Would do full count again. Blue Jay defense playing straight up. Had an uncharacteristically bad first game yesterday. 3 errors on the season. They're one of the top teams in the country when it comes to fielding percentage. Which definitely, as you pointed out earlier, it helps the pitchers not only lower their ERA, but their confidence to throw their pitches in the strike zone more as Linton walks.
Yeah, especially with this team, that's something very rare you see, I think. And like we were kind of talking about earlier, any pitcher on this staff, and I think everyone would agree, that there's no one they'd rather have defensively behind them than this team that we have this year, just with all the speed we have and just the returning veterans kind of in the infield. Matt Johnson coming back finally from his injury from last year. Stone being one of those dudes super smooth in the field. Josh Jones stepping up a lot. just the way he picks baseballs is pretty insane, and he does a great job over there. And like I said, Drake and Reed both doing an amazing job, as well as TJ Stevens, too, I think is really good at third base, just bodying up balls and working hard. He's one of the hardest working guys I know on this team, on and off the field.
One of those guys that brings some veteran presence to this team. Played a little bit last year, so coming back this year and definitely helping stabilize the dugout. As we have a courtesy runner for Linson, it's going to be number 37, Jacob Nevels, on a pinch run. For the Eagles, Gerard working from the stretch. Breaking pitch misses low, nobody out here on the top of the third inning. Blue Jays leading 4-1.
I don't know what most base runners feel like when they're on the base when Drake's pitching right now. He does that little head shake right there. I know just watching him, it gets me off guard, so I can't imagine what it does to them. But I know Drake holds guys on really well, too.
As it pickoff attempt to first. Which is huge because teams at this level love to go out and run. And when you can hold the running game to a minimum, then you're definitely saving some runs. And we saw from the catcher from Avila yesterday hold the base pass really well in the first game. Linson threw out a couple of would-be runners for the Blue Jays. And so when you can hold that running game, whether it's your pitcher holding them on or it's the catcher, it's just a really invaluable for a team. It just doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but it's one of those small things that you really appreciate.
Especially as pitchers, we harp on, that quick approach to the plate where you don't want to be super late, working your slide steps, working different moves, and seeing things as Leo's about to throw this guy out. Yep.
And as you mentioned, Leo Aguilar throwing a strike to Matt Johnson at second, nailing Nevels for the first out of the inning. Talk about holding runners and controlling the run game.
I was about to say when I was mid-conversation for that was he having a catcher like Leo who you can be a little slower to the plate and you don't have to change things up when you got a guy with kind of a cannon back there that'll throw guys out all the time.
As it's called, strike count goes to 3-1. As you see the and a second walk of the inning, this time to Henry Morphew with one out.
Is there some up here?
As we have a mound visit here from Coach Staniford, wanting to talk things over with Gerard, his second consecutive walk. Going back to Leo Aguilar, coming into the game, throwing out 46% of the base runners on the base paths, which is extremely high.
Skip didn't look too happy out there. I know that strut can be intimidating sometimes. He looked like he was harping on Drake because he knows Drake can be better, but.
And when you got someone like Coach Staniford giving his advice, you definitely are going to listen.
Yes, and just his maturity. I mean, obviously as a coach, but just the respect that he has from this team is awesome, especially with what he's done and how he is. It's awesome, and the respect that everyone gives him.
Of course, Coach Staniford being a legend at Wichita State, and also coming here and just really building a program from scratch.
Yes.
And it's just amazing what he's done and what the relationship that he has with his players, which you can speak into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he's awesome. I mean, as serious as he can get at times, he's also got that goofy side. I know he messes around with me a lot, which is really funny, but that's the kind of aspect he brings as a coach where he'll get on you if he has to, but at the same time when it's
as Clickenbeard rifles this one off the right field wall. Played very well by Weems. He's going to throw it in at third base. Made it a little bit closer than it was, but the runner is Clickenbeard is able to advance to second. Heads up, base running there by the first baseman for the Eagles. Now runners in scoring position at second and third with Hunter Reed coming to the plate. Might as well just first base open, just potentially walk Reed and get to the bottom of the lineup.
I could definitely see that, especially because you got a guy putting him on first base, then you get a force out somewhere.
The top four hitters for the Eagles this weekend batting .622, the bottom batting .015. Just one hit from the bottom of the lineup. So a lot of the damage being done by Reed, Morphew, and Linson. as well as Clickenbeard has a couple of hits.
Good pitch.
Good pitch to start out. As you said, 0-1 count. And so when you got a hitter as hot as Reed, has hit a couple of home runs this weekend, what's going through your mind as a pitcher?
I think the biggest thing is stay low. This guy's done a really good job, and you kind of seen kind of yesterday when Dante was pitching, he threw really well. It was just a couple of those pitches that he had to this guy when he made those crushing hits was when the ball was left up in the air. And I think the biggest thing right here for Drake is just to live low, hit that spot away, and not be afraid to even jam him in on a fastball, because I think right now you're trying to work away. So that's what he's thinking right now as a hitter. So getting it in on him and breaking that curveball in on side and low. See,
fastball taken at the chest for a ball.
It's a good 0-2 right there.
Okay, so there's another conversation to be had. When you're 0-2, a lot of people say you can waste a pitch, but I know a lot of people say that you're 0-2, you might as well throw a strike, because batters sometimes thinking you're coming with a junk move. So it's not, you shouldn't waste a pitch, but you might as well throw your best pitch you can. What's your? For
sure, I think it kind of depends on each pitcher. You know, when you got a guy like Drake who can hit upper 80s a little bit when he throws, I think it's okay to, try and hit that super high up and in pitch that could be for a strike on a guy like this. But at the same time, with some pitchers, kind of like me, when I don't throw as hard, I think it's important to, utilize that 0-2 as like something like a curveball low and in, to where that you can try and get a swing and a miss. But it just kind of depends on this batter. For him, I think that was with this guy up right now at the plate, I think that was a really good pitch. And now you come after him with something like in.
And he had him off balance. Ground ball. Runner going home. Play at the plate. Good play by Millwood, giving Aguilar a great throw at the chest. Able to tag Morphew, who is streaking home. Saves a run. 2 outs. Runners at first and second now. Gotta love that if you're a pitcher.
Great play. Reed stayed composed. Knew exactly what he was going to do. I think that's awesome to see right there.
So fielder's choice. It's going to bring up Grant Burns, a shortstop, with 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Again, a good crowd here on the opening weekend in Hillsborough. Grant Burns pressed a charge in this one, but Bethea playing him perfectly in right center field, makes the catch for the 3rd out. A couple of hits this inning for the Eagles. No damage done, however. Blue Jays still leading 4-1 going to the bottom of the 3rd.
Create an estate plan that values what you value. The Biblical Estate Design Service from MB Foundation is a will planning service that brings your faith into the process of preparing a God-honoring estate plan. Many donors of Tabor College have used this service to create their plan and have chosen to leave a gift to the college, a gift that will have a lasting impact on future generations of Tabor students. Learn more at mbfoundation.com/Tabor and get started on your plan today.
MB Foundation, giving meaning to money.
Think about how good it feels when people really get you. Like the friends who come over when a big game is on, the neighbors next door who always bring your favorite buffalo dip, your in-laws who know you need silence during the clutch plays, and everyone who knows about your special post-win fist bump. It's kind of like having a State Farm agent like Paul Brooks. Paul is here to get to know you and understand your life, so he can help make it easy for you to protect what's important. Get an agent that gets you and your fist bumps. Call State Farm agent Paul Brooks in Wichita at 316-721-8181.
We go to the bottom of the 3rd here in Hillsborough. Leo Aguilar leading off for the Blue Jays. He reached first in the 2nd inning via the hit by pitch. Cole Nichols still on the mound for the Eagles. He has 54 pitches so far through 2 complete. As Aguilar rifles that one in the right field, a leadoff hit to start the 3rd inning for the Blue Jays.
Leo's such a tough out at the plate. Just works well at hitting all the places of the park. Any pitch. He's one of those guys who really stepped up, too, after fall. Kind of struggled in the fall a little bit, and now he's just Started getting a few hits at a time, and now his confidence at the plate's huge.
Batting average continues to rise, now batting .272 on the season. Came into this weekend batting .216. Rudy Vasquez 0 for 1 today.
Oh.
And it's going to be a pass ball as courtesy runner Brandon Riggles advances to second base. Well, runner in scoring position, nobody out. Blue Jays looking to extend that 4-1 lead.
Brandon, another one of those guys who we've been talking about filling in roles, has been super positive in the locker room right now. I know he hasn't played in a ton of games, but filling in his role as a pinch runner, I know he's actually scored quite a few runs for us this year and done a really good job.
Riggles actually has scored more runs than he has at bats as Vasquez screams that one down the third base line. It's going to be extra bases for Vasquez. Scoring from second is Riggles. And Vasquez continues his hot stretch this weekend. It's good to see Vasquez coming in. There's a couple of these Blue Jays hitters just really hot on the season. Vasquez extending his hit total on the weekend to 7 hits this weekend. It's nice to see his approach changing. Yesterday, he was all about the launch angle, getting the ball up in the airstream with the wind, and you could just see him staying down and threw that ball down the third base line as Josh Jones come to the plate.
Even in his BP yesterday and today, he looked really good. And he actually, yesterday his BP was roping balls down the line just like that. So it's good to see that kind of paying off for him and working out.
Got a pitcher in the Eagles bullpen warming up. So Younger battling Josh Jones, who had a loud out back in the second inning to deep right center field. Nothing to show for it, 0 for 1 in the day. But now it comes up in the bottom of the third with a runner on second. And again, our camera crew doing all that work. Our guys in the control room, they do such a good job bringing you all the angles. And one of the best broadcasts in the NAIA. As Nichols looks the runner back at second, time called by Josh Jones at the plate. I don't know if you remember the play yesterday, but there was a stolen base by Witkowski, and the umpire pointed like he was acting to see if the player had secured the ball. Player secured the ball, but he called the runner safe. Do you remember that play?
I think that was obstruction of the base path, I think is what he called that. And I think that's what Joey said he had called. I think that's why he was safe, because I think he would have been out, but I think the second baseman was the second baseman who made that tag, or the shortstop, whichever one it was in front of the base.
Okay.
At that play.
That's good clarification then, because it was just such an interesting play yesterday.
Yeah, for sure.
Just couldn't tell what was going on. Just saw him call a safety. It was just so unorthodox in how it happened. It's a 2-1 count, and Nichols fires a breaking pitch in there for a call and strike. Count runs to 2-2. But Witkowski, another one of those guys that has the athleticism to steal bases. And really, any one of the Blue Jays' top 4 hitters can swipe a base. You got Bethea, Johnson, Weems, and Witkowski, who bats fifth, and also
Stone.
Stone did quick guy.
Yeah.
As that one hits Josh on the back. Not sure if he felt that at all, but jogs to first.
It's your team motto, ball don't move us, right there.
Reed Millwood's going to come up with nobody out. Runners on first and second. And you better watch out. Josh Jones going to score from first on this infield single. So a lot of speed on the base pass for the Blue Jays, as I think we're going to have a pitching change. And so we're going to go to the Sherry Fleming call to the bullpen. We're going to take a short break here in Hillsboro.
Sooner or later, you might need some extra storage space. When that day comes, Fleming's Mini Store All is ready and waiting. Fleming's Mini Store All has 5 locations and has been serving the Hillsboro and Marion area since 1990. They've got a variety of storage size options and can even handle boats and RVs. To learn more, just visit FlemingsMiniStoreAll.com or give them a call at 620-382-5550. Fleming's Mini Store All, the solution for your storage problems.
Great
Need an estate plan that values what you value? The Biblical Estate Design Service from MB Foundation is a will planning service that brings your faith into the process of preparing a God-honoring estate plan. Many donors of Tabor College have used this service to create their plan and have chosen to leave a gift to the college, a gift that will have a lasting impact on future generations of Tabor students. Learn more at mbfoundation.com/Tabor and get started on your plan today.
MB Foundation, giving meaning to money.
Think about how good it feels when people really get you. Like the friends who come over when a big game is on, the neighbors next door who always bring your favorite buffalo dip, your in-laws who know you need silence during the clutch plays, and everyone who knows about your special post-win fist bump. It's kind of like having a State Farm agent like Paul Brooks. Paul is here to get to know you and understand your life, so he can help make it easy for you to protect what's important. Get an agent that gets you and your fist bumps. Call State Farm agent Paul Brooks in Wichita at 316-721-8181.
And as Austin Autry, the new Eagles pitcher, finishes up his warm-up pitches, Reed Millwood's going to dig in for the Blue Jays. Nobody out here in Hillsboro. Runners at first and second base, and the Blue Jays leading 5-1.
I think it's important here for Reed, like we were kind of talking about. This pitcher struggled a little bit yesterday, throwing warm-up pitches, a little bit struggling today. Not coming in and actually seeing a couple pitches, seeing if he can command that fastball right now and not coming in there greedy, trying to get a hit right here.
Millwood offered to bunt, fastball taken outside for a ball. Autry, a big lefty from Missouri, a junior. I think, Millwood's going to just make him throw a strike. See if he offers to bunt again with nobody out and runners at first and second. Blue Jays command a 4-run lead.
Good.
Another ball outside. Count goes to 2-0.
Reed, one of the best bunters in this team, I think. I know that first weekend in Texas, or second weekend in Texas, when he came out, he had like 3 or 4 sack bunts just in 2-game series right there. He bunts the ball really well, and like we were talking about with Team ABs, one of the best guys at having those Team ABs and not caring about, getting a sack bunt. He's doing his job, moving the guys over.
Goes into manufacturing runs. Squares the bunt, fouls that one just out of the arms of Zach Linson, the Eagles catcher. So count goes to 2-1. Talk about a play yesterday on a bunt. I believe it was Dante Nelson who made the play and went to third base to cut an Eagles runner down. It was huge, especially with the Eagles threatening to extend that lead.
Yes, that was a very big time play at that point in time, and he made a good throw too. It was right on point.
I think it was 1-0. Avila was leading at the time. As Millwood is able to bunt it, and it gives it to Autry, who throws it over to Perez, not able to make the catch on the throw from Autry. Perez running to his left to the bag. The throw is a little bit to his right. Now the bases are loaded and still nobody out, and we go to the top of the Blue Jay lineup with Pat Bethea coming to the plate. Just another one of those unforced errors by the Eagles. And now nobody out, and bases are loaded. Good bunt, as you had mentioned, by Millwood, who was hustling down the baseline, and Perez just unable to corral that. Interesting that the infield is in and the middle infield is not at double play depth. But everyone's in to try to cut down the runner at home. There's a ground ball by Bethea. Not sure if there's much of a chance to turn a double play with Pat running down the baseline.
That's super fast.
He's walked once, and he's also flied out. Now down 0-1. Austin Autry looking to get the Eagles out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam here in the bottom of the third inning. Fires fastball, misses outside. Count goes to 1-1. The corners of the outfield plays them straight up. Henry Morphew in center has pretty much all weekend long played shallow center. Showed off some decent range out there. Autry fires, swing and a miss by Bethea. Count runs to 1-2. Decent fastball from the left side does Autry have. So bases loaded. You got Vasquez at third, Speed Demon Josh Jones at second, and Millwood at first. Autry from the left side. 1-2 count to Bethea. Throws it all the way to the basket. Vasquez not advancing. And Josh Jones goes back to second. Millwood goes back to first.
That ball kind of bounced off pretty hard, too. That might not have been such a bad read by Rudy there. I think that was a smart play, you know, especially with no outs, you know. You got a chance to score those runs. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of a piece of the ball Linson got the catcher. None at all. It's a good play by him to get back there quickly. Yeah, I think you're right. It's a good read by Vasquez to go back to third. No reason to make the first out at home plate.
Kind of happened a couple times now, the catcher and pitcher missing.
Yeah.
Especially on that outside pitch, not knowing and not finding that. Not sure what's going on there.
From the stretch, Autry delivers to Bethea inside, almost hit him. Count runs full with the bases loaded, nowhere to put him. We'll have to come with a strike. Infield still playing in, everyone on the grass as Autry is set to deliver the payoff pitch to Bethea, and it is outside, and a run will score as Bethea takes his second base on balls of the game. Matt Johnson coming up for the Blue Jays with the bases loaded and nobody out. The lead jumps to 5, 6-1 Blue Jays.
Something we talked about earlier, you know, being a bullpen guy, being able to come in and command your pitches and throw strikes. You can't come in and walk guys, and I know that's something Skip really harps on our bullpen and how he talks about it all the time, that if you're going to come in, you got to be able to come in and pound that zone. Especially as a pitcher, I think you'd rather give up those hits than walk bases loaded, walk guys like this, because that's killer.
Johnson skies this one to deep left field on his horse as the Eagles left fielder is going to reach the tennis courts, but in foul territory, just feet away from the grandest home run of them all.
Matt had a swing like that yesterday. I think went almost past the tennis courts, but it was also foul. He's been seeing the ball really well lately.
Jerome McKenzie, the Eagles left fielder, was motioning that it was foul, doing his best lobbyist impression. So we'll do it again, 0-1 count now with the bases loaded, and Autry to collect his thoughts after that long foul ball. And when we're talking about manufacturing runs, the Eagles have the same amount of hits as the Blue Jays, but Tabor has just really manufactured all their runs really well today, being patient at the plate. As you see, Johnson's long foul ball just stayed back and absolutely put a lot of power into that. Can't even see where the ball comes down at. As the 1-1 count to Johnson. Fastball misses outside. Count goes to 2-1. It's really good to see Johnson swing the bat well this weekend. Again, came in non-conference play batting $176, and he's seen that batting average jump to 224.
It's been good for him to see him get his mojo back, especially because how he plays really confident as a player anyways.
Johnson looks at a fastball that misses outside. Autry did not like that call. Count goes to 3-1. Nowhere to put him. Bases loaded, 3-1 count. So as a pitcher here, bases loaded, you thinking fastball?
That might be too fastball, but I think for me, I like to use on like a 3-1 or a 2-0 count changeup.
Yeah.
If you can control that pitch, I think that's one of the most lethal pitches to use So throwing that pitch 3-1 keeps hitters off balance. And then maybe on a 3-2 when they're thinking you might come back with something kind of like that, you can come back with a fastball or curveball over the plate. But can't do what he did just there and walked another guy. That's 2 in a row.
2 in a row, 2 runs scored. Tabor leading 6-1 with Christian Stone coming to the plate for the Blue Jays. A lot of the runs have scored on pass balls, walks, wild pitches.
Their bullpen getting hot again, it looks like.
Tabor looking to go 3-0 inside of conference play, looking to sweep Avila. Looking good right now. Beg your pardon, 7-1 is our score. Tabor plays again on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central Time as a fastball on the outside part of the plate called a strike. 2 p.m. Central Time against the Bethany College Swedes.
On the mound here, got to be careful. There's been a couple times now where he's not stayed paused, come and set. Be careful, watch out of box. You don't want him to score another run, give him another run like that either.
Another unforced run scoring. Stone puts a charge in this one to center field. Morphew, though, gets a good read on it. He's able to throw it in. Bethea tagged at second, and Millwood tagged from third. As really loud contact by Stone, who gets another sac fly.
Another Team AB right there. That's what you like to see from us right there. It's awesome.
Runners at the corners now with Kelsey Weems coming to the plate with an opportunity to add to his RBI total. Good approach right there by Stone. Just smoked it to center field.
Good job hitting at the right side of the field, too.
Weems
that's gone.
absolutely smacks that one well over the fence into the trees. His second home run of the weekend, his 5th RBI of the weekend, and just like that, Tabor has put this lead out of reach for the moment against Avila. And you called it. He knew it right off the bat. You knew it right off the bat.
Oh, here he comes, getting his nice little handshake with that great home run song we love to hear. The bat speed of Kelsey, too, is just something kind of unheard of. I've never really, not in very many years, maybe other than Jason Wallace we had last year, has any type of bat speed and bat pop that Kelsey does when he swings. And as you can tell, that ball, immediately when it was hit, we all knew it was gone. And he had one of those, too, yesterday. We had a couple guys hit that yesterday. And that's with the wind blowing in.
Yeah. Yeah, no. With Joey Witkowski coming to the plate for the Blue Jays, he's 0 for 1 with a walk. But it's really good. Again, we talked about it earlier. To see the Blue Jays come out and hitting as well as they are this weekend compared to what they were in the non-conference stretch, it's just good to see them start conference play.
Yeah, it's awesome. Really good, great start for us, too. And with everything in general, pitchers doing their job on the mound and hitters exceptionally doing their job for us right there. It's nothing but giving pitchers confidence when you come out and you score runs like this and prove that you can.
Weems now has 5 home runs on the young season and 20 runs batted in. Those 20 runs batted in is good for 3rd in the KCAC. McPherson has a couple of guys that already had 37 and 30 runs batted in.
Wow.
As you see the 2-2 count, Joey Witkowski digging in from the left side, lefty-on-lefty matchup.
I believe McPherson's played a few more games, I think, though.
As a called 3rd strike against Witkowski as the 2nd out of the inning brings up Leo Aguilar. McPherson's played 18 games. Tabor, I believe.
We're on 14 or 15 maybe, I think. Oh, Leo's walk-up song always gets the whole dugout going.
Tabor now has a double-digit lead here, scoring 7 in the 3rd. It is a 9-inning ball game, but the 10-run limit is in effect after 7. Autry with the 0-1 count gets his signal from Zach Linson, fires a breaking pitch, hitting the outside part of the plate for a called second strike.
It's a good curveball there, hitting that outside corner. Hard pitch to hit for a righty right there.
Riley Olson for Tabor, actually 3rd in the conference in opponent batting average with a .185. Haven't seen him this weekend, but he's pitched really well early in the season.
Just a bit outside.
Just a bit. We've seen that a couple times today. Eagles looking to get out of this inning. Blue Jays looking to keep pouring those runs on.
He's got some good velo behind him. He's just kind of struggling to find it right now at the plate.
So far this weekend, the Blue Jays have scored 46 runs. And we're not even through to the 3rd game yet, so good to see that outburst by this Blue Jay offense as the ball taken high. Count runs full with 2 outs to Leo Aguilar. And you were talking about it last year. There was a non-conference game where the Blue Jays scored in the 20s. And it's just nice to see the bats all come together like that as Aguilar swings and misses. Autry gets a swinging strikeout, and that's going to be it in the 3rd for the Blue Jays. They do some damage, score 7 runs. They are leading 11-1.
Sooner or later, you might need some extra storage space. When that day comes, Fleming's Mini Store All is ready and waiting. Fleming's Mini Store All has 5 locations and has been serving the Hillsborough and Marion area since 1990. They've got a variety of storage size options and can even handle boats and RVs. To learn more, just visit FlemingsMiniStoreAll.com or give them a call at 620-382-5550. Fleming's Mini Store All, the solution for your storage problems.
Back for the top of the 4th inning here in Hillsborough. The Blue Jays command an 11-1 lead, and Drake Gerard still on the mound for the Blue Jays. He's pitched 3 innings of 1-run ball. That lone run coming on a Hunter Reed home run.
Drake throwing really well, really comfortable up there, and he's shown that even though after that home run and those last 2 innings, kind of getting guys on base, he's been able to find a way to get out of it and working really well up there and really confident.
Yep. Jerome McKenzie leads off for this Eagles offense. Fouls one off to the left side. McKenzie on the season batting .259. Blue Jays scored 11 runs just on 4 hits. A lot of walks, a lot of pass balls and wild pitches. Manufacturing those runs in. 2 errors also by this Eagles defense. And a nice pitch by Gerard. Has McKenzie off balance. It's that breaking pitch you were talking about earlier, 0-2 count now.
Looked like his slider actually right there, which is some pitch I think he's starting to kind of work in a little bit more now that he's getting through. I know his curveball's got a little more over-the-top action. Looked like he kind of dropped his arm down a little bit right there.
And pitching with a lead like this has to be good for your young pitchers because you can start to throw a lot more stuff to see if you like him or that you wouldn't throw in a close game.
Getting those opportunities is huge.
Trying to experiment again with that slider.
Don't mind that low pitch right there, though. That's good. Kind of a change in eye level right there to set up for that 1-2.
There's that quick step. Misses outside, 2-2 count to Jerome McKenzie.
Talking about that quick step, he does a really good job at utilizing that and kind of finding the best counts. He doesn't overuse it and he doesn't underuse it, that's for sure. He just finds a great time, and especially on a 1-2 like that is really good, or leading off the hitter, not expecting that.
Misses inside with the fastball. Count now runs full after being ahead 0-2.
Something as a pitcher, it's always kind of hard, especially when you score a lot of runs like that, sitting in the dugout, getting a little cold. That can be tough on you too, especially when you come out right out of the gate trying to throw a new inning.
Ball high. McKenzie takes his 4th walk of the season. Gerard now going to be forced to work from the stretch with the runner on first and nobody out. Christian Perez coming to the plate, the second baseman for the Eagles. Perez is 1 for 1 in the game, one of the 3 Eagles hits. As he skies this one on the infield, Matt Johnson has a beat on it, calling off Reed Millwood at third base, able to make the play and retire Perez. First out of the inning on a high pop out to Matt Johnson, with the sun gleaming down now, coming out of the clouds. Brings up Jose Meza, the designated hitter.
You love to see it, sun shining. Perfect day for baseball.
Supposed to be another good day Tuesday when the Blue Jays host Bethany College. Supposed to be in the 60s for that game as well, as Gerard again from the stretch with the breaking pitch misses outside. Wind now blowing, but from left to right field, a little bit in. A little bit the reverse of what it was blowing yesterday when it was blowing out to left center field, now blowing in from left to right.
Welcome to that Kansas weather. You never know where the wind's going to go.
Swing and a miss by Jose Meza. Snap throw back to first by Aguilar. It's a good throw, but scampering back to first is McKenzie. McKenzie does have 3 stolen bases on the season, hasn't been thrown out yet. One of the quicker guys on this team. Actually leads the team in stolen bases. Breaking pitch to Meza, fouls that one back. 1-2 count, good pitch there by Gerard.
Used that really well right there. Good location right there on that pitch. Really commanding that pitch well right now at this point in the game.
Gerard looks the runner back at first from the stretch. 1-2 count. Breaking pitch hits the inside part of the plate for his 4th strikeout of the game.
Beautiful pitch. It looked like almost is that a changeup right there?
Yeah, from my vantage point, it was a breaking pitch. Couldn't tell if there was any 12-6 on it or not.
Either way, really good pitch right there, low in the zone. Hit that bottom corner right there.
We have the luxury of being in the Pinner Clubhouse up here in the Allen and Jennifer Vokes upper deck, but we don't have the angle behind the plate, so sometimes we can't tell if it's a changeup or a breaking pitch or a curveball. First pitch strike to Jake Verdon from Gerard. 2 outs here, working from the stretch with the runner on first.
Note that high fastball right there. Could be seeing that again later in the count.
Fastball on the inside part of the plate, working very quickly and efficiently right now is Gerard. Aguilar gets the sign from the Blue Jays dugout.
0-2 count. Could see that high fastball like I was just saying again. You never know.
As Verdon hits this one down the first base line, outside of the reaching arms of Josh Jones, goes to the corner. Weems is able to corral the ball. Being waved home is McKenzie. There will not be a play at the plate as the ball comes into the catcher, throws it almost over Reed Millwood at third base. As Jake Verdon, the 9-hole hitter, is going to be credited with a double and advance to third on the throw to the plate. Scoring from first is Jerome McKenzie, giving the Eagles their second run of the contest. It's going to bring up the top of the lineup as Zach Linson, the catcher, will bat beg your pardon. It's going to be a pinch hitter. Andrew Mujica is going to be pinch hitting for Linson, replacing him behind the dish. So a little bit of life here.
Wasn't a horrible pitch right there by Drake. I think that kid made a pretty good swing on that. Josh almost had it too. It was a good play right there.
Mujica digs in for his first plate appearance of the game as Gerard working for the windup now. Mujica hits that one down the third base line, foul. Almost hit Verdon in foul territory. Blue Jays now have a 9-run lead, 11-2. See our great work by the camera guys there, giving you all the angles. Gerard, breaking pitch, gets Mujica to pop up on the infield. It's going to be the middle. Christian Stone going to call everyone off. It's going to be the third out of the inning. The Eagles do get one back on a double by Jake Verdon. Blue Jays now lead 11-2 going to the bottom of the fourth.
Create an estate plan that values what you value. The Biblical Estate Design Service from MB Foundation is a will planning service that brings your faith into the process of preparing a God-honoring estate plan. Many donors of Tabor College have used this service to create their plan and have chosen to leave a gift to the college, a gift that will have a lasting impact on future generations of Tabor students. Learn more at mbfoundation.com/Tabor and get started on your plan today.
MB Foundation, giving meaning to money.
Think about how good it feels when people really get you. Like the friends who come over when a big game is on, the neighbors next door who always bring your favorite buffalo dip, your in-laws who know you need silence during the clutch plays, and everyone who knows about your special post-win fist bump. It's kind of like having a State Farm agent like Paul Brooks. Paul is here to get to know you and understand your life, so he can help make it easy for you to protect what's important. Get an agent that gets you and your fist bumps. Call State Farm agent Paul Brooks in Wichita at 316-721-8181.
Now pitching for Avila, we have Ty Cody coming in. Has an 11.05 ERA in his fifth game pitch now. Starting out, he's thrown 7.1 innings. We'll see what he can do for Avila now with a new inning starting for them.
Cody, a senior from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Pitches from the right side. Rudy Vasquez 1 for 2 today with an RBI scoring double. Look, he's continuing to look to add to his hit total on the weekend. He's been swinging the bat well. Now leads the Blue Jays actually in batting average. Came in batting .385, now batting .393 with his double back in, all the way back in the bottom of the third inning.
Seeing it well and seeing his confidence too up there just keep rising as he's getting every new AB.
Fastball misses low. 1-1 count. Cody looks to pitch in the high 70s, low 80s. Misses on that pitch. 2-1 count to Vasquez. Fastball hits the outside part of the play. Count goes to 2-2.
Good pitch right there on the outside corner. Tough pitch for Rudy to hit like that.
Yep. As Vasquez grounds that one to Hunter Reed at third base, able to make the play. Strong throw at a first base to Clickenbeard to retire the first out of the inning. He's going to bring up Josh Jones, who has a couple of loud outs today. He's actually 0 for 1. The only time he's been retired was a line drive to center field. He's walked twice.
Josh really good, as we were kind of mentioning earlier, at taking pitches and finding a way to get on, whether that be by hits or getting walks. I know I don't even know, he might be leading the team right now in walks by how many he has.
Cody exclusively works from the stretch, fires a fastball that misses on outside. Wind has died down here. It was blowing in. Slight breeze in now, not as prominent as it was just an inning ago. As Jones hit that one right to Hunter Reed, who's able to play it off his chest. Oh, what a good play that was at the hot corner. Had some nasty spin on it. Can't say enough good things about Hunter Reed of Avila and his defense.
Playing really well, using his body right there, doing a great job and not shying away from that, just going right at it, even taking it off the face and just grabbing it and chucking it over there. He threw that pretty hard over across the diamond right there.
Reed Millwood up to the plate, 0 for 1, but has scored 2 runs today. Grounds that one to the right side to Christian Perez, and a pretty easy 1-2-3 inning for Ty Cody. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Blue Jays don't score any runs. 11-2 is our score.
Sooner or later, you might need some extra storage space. When that day comes, Fleming's Mini Store All is ready and waiting. Fleming's Mini Store All has 5 locations and has been serving the Hillsborough and Marion area since 1990. They've got a variety of storage size options and can even handle boats and RVs. To learn more, just visit FlemingsMiniStoreAll.com or give them a call at 620-382-5550. Fleming's Mini Store All, the solution for your storage problems.
And after a short bottom of the 4th inning, you have to go all the way back to the 7th inning of the first game this series to when the Blue Jays did not score a run, let alone have a base runner on base. As Gerard fires that one in there, Henry Morphew, their center fielder, leading off for the Eagles. Morphew 0 for 1 with a walk. He's hit a couple of home runs yesterday. Leads the team in home runs. Has 11 RBIs in the season. Two-0 count from Gerard working from the lineup. Misses outside, count runs to 3-0 here in the top of the 5th. Gerard has worked 4 innings so far. Has struck out 4, given up 4 hits, 2 runs. The 3-0 pitch to Morphew had the green light, decided not to swing it. 3-1 is our count.
Well, those last couple pitches, he's left a little up. Got to work on keeping that ball down the zone, especially with this guy, as he's shown his power this weekend. Good pitch.
Fastball hits the inside part of the plate. Count goes to full after being behind 3-0. The payoff pitch, Morphew grounds it to the first base side, just a little bit foul. Josh Jones showing off his mobility over there, his nimble feet, as we'll do the full count again. Again, it's a 9-inning ball game today, but Blue Jays up 9, 10-run rule is in effect. So after 7, if the Blue Jays are up by 10 or more runs, the game will be called as Gerard works on the windup, just misses outside with that fastball on a 3-2 count. Morphew takes his second walk of the contest. Eagles have a leadoff base runner here in the top of the 5th. It's going to bring up Clickenbeard. Clickenbeard doubled off the base of the right field fence back in the 2nd inning. Put together a decent weekend, has 3 hits in this series. Coming into the contest, batting .325, has improved that, now batting .333.
Yeah, the top of the order, this lineup, very solid.
Gerard misses high on a fastball. Morphew has stolen a base in 3 attempts. That's Clickenbeard with the righty on lefty matchup. Fastball just misses a little bit outside. 2-0 goes the count as Aguilar wants to talk it over with his pitcher. Are you a fan of when the catcher comes out to have a little conversation with you?
Depends on what he's about to tell me. If I've walked back-to-back guys, probably not. But here, I think it's one of those things where he's just coming up to him right now, talking to him, and telling him to kind of cool down a little bit. He's catching him right now, so he kind of knows that he's missing up. So I'm sure they're talking about working hard, not being lazy, and getting that ball down. But I think it's just one of those more composure things right there. Especially with how Leo is as a character and a catcher. He's just a great guy. Love throwing to him. And love how he works behind the plate and his work ethic, along with his plus arm for sure.
2-0 count here to the 3-hole hitter, Clickenbeard. Nice breaking pitch on the outside part of the plate. Breaking ball low, misses. Count goes to 3-1 with the runner on first. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. From the stretch, Gerard, the 3-1 pitch.
Good.
Hits the outside part of the plate with the fastball.
Really good pitch right there, hitting that outside corner now. Now you just got to attack him right here. Got it a 9-run lead. Nothing to really worry about. Just keep attacking hitters and getting through that order.
Second consecutive 3-2 count for Gerard to start the 5th inning. And Clickenbeard hits that one. Josh Jones able to body it, and he's able to tag Clickenbeard out, hustling down the first baseline. Runner advances to second, so with 1 out, Eagles will have Hunter Reed, the cleanup hitter, coming to the plate with a runner on second.
Really hard-nosed play right there by Josh. I mean, he worked so hard back there at first base. Whether we didn't get the double play, we still got that out right there. He did a good job of bodying that baseball up because that ball was hit hard. Nice job by Drake right there, too, coming back. Being down 2-0 after having that conversation with Leo on that mound visit. Doing a good job working back in the zone.
Misses with the breaking pitch outside, 1-0 count. And as you can see on your screen, a beautiful day here in Hillsboro. A lot of people come out. As Reed smacks that one up the middle, Christian Stone ranging to his right, able to make the nice play. Good throw over to Josh Jones at first to retire Hunter Reed. So 2 outs, runner at third. And Grant Burns, the shortstop, coming to the plate.
Another nice job by Drake right there, just going right at that guy. I know he's had a few hits today and is swinging it pretty well, but Drake not afraid to get in there and bump him inside right there for an out. Good play by Christian, too. Really smooth over at second.
Drake now at 4 2 innings, 4 2/3 innings pitched. Has 2 earned runs, has thrown 85 pitches, walked 5, struck out 4.
Pitch count is up there a little bit. It's 85. Still work through that. Those walks don't help. Good.
Fastball catches the outside part of the plate. 0-2 count. Gerard has really been aggressive, especially to anyone outside of the first four in this Eagles lineup, going after him early in the count.
Some quick pitch here, maybe.
As Burns off balance, a slow roller. Matt Johnson hustling, making an off balance play. Scooped out of the dirt by Josh Jones. What a good play on both ends. Matt Johnson coming up to field it, and Josh Jones scooping it out of the dirt. We go to the bottom of the fifth innings. No runners score. Score still 11-2.
Create an estate plan that values what you value. The Biblical Estate Design Service from MB Foundation is a will planning service that brings your faith into the process of preparing a God-honoring estate plan. Many donors of Tabor College have used this service to create their plan and have chosen to leave a gift to the college, a gift that will have a lasting impact on future generations of Tabor students. Learn more at mbfoundation.com/Tabor and get started on your plan today.
MB Foundation, giving meaning to money.
Looks as though Avila's bringing in a new pitcher now, number 11, Cody White. Thrown in 5 games as well, just like Ty Cody did. He has an ERA of 13.50, but only 3.1 innings pitched. So Avila kind of giving some guys a little bit more chance right now with this 9-run lead here by the Blue Jays. Interesting to see what he'll do right here. Kind of a submarine type pitcher a little bit. Drops that arm a little below 8 o'clock. On that right side. Gets a first pitch, ground ball to the third baseman for a nice play. One pitch, one out.
So when you're facing a submarine pitcher, what are the pros and cons of that?
For the hitter, or for the pitcher himself?
Both of them. Let's go both.
Okay. As a pitcher, I think it's something very rare you see. You don't see a whole lot of guys dropping that ball down there. So when you're facing hitters, it makes it a lot harder to hit, a lot harder to see, especially when you're facing that side. So when you have a righty-righty matchup like we have right here with Matt, that ball coming on that corner down there around that 8 o'clock range looks like it's coming right at you and then kind of cuts in. So it's like seeing a cutter every single time you see a fastball.
As Matt Johnson eats up Hunter Reed, the Eagles' third baseman, with that ground ball. Reed has made a number of good plays today. And that one, I think he went back on that one. I think if he could do it over again, he'd charge it a little bit more to get it on that big hop. So Blue Jay base runner with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning, leading by 9. Christian Stone coming to the plate. Last at bat, flew out sharply to center field for a sac fly. Oh, beg your pardon. No, that's Christian Stone's. As fastball misses just a bit outside.
And I believe this is actually the first type of pitcher we've seen this submarine this year, so interesting to see what our guys do. I know Matt made pretty good contact with that ball, so hopefully the rest of the lineup can do the same.
Christian actually has not registered an official at-bat. He has 2 sac flies and a walk. So 0 for 0 with a run scored. 2 runs batted in. Fouls that one off to the right side. Just missing my car in the parking lot, thank goodness. Breaking pitch hits the outside corner. 1-2 count to Christian Stone, 1 out.
Tough pitch to hit right there. That was a good location, lone zone. Kind of away right there. It broke away from him.
Cody White, a 6'3" sophomore from Lee's Summit, Missouri. As Johnson's running and Stone fouls that one off to the right side. We do the 1-2 again. Johnson looking to add to his stolen base total. He has 5 on the season, has already swiped one today.
Kind of got some guys stretching down in the Blue Jays bullpen. Looks like Austin Mickles getting a little stretching going on. We'll see what happens there.
White looks back. Johnson from the stretch. Johnson's going again. Ball outside. And Mujica, who's just checked in, throws a grounder to second, but Johnson slipped and went back to first.
A little bit of a weird series right there.
Yeah, the sequence was unorthodox. We'll do the 2-2 count. You can see the track marks on the path to second base where Johnson hit the brakes. When now blowing in a little bit harder as a ball low, so we're doing a full count here with 1 out. Johnson on first. Be interesting to see if Jake Jones sends Johnson here with 1 out in the full count. From the stretch, Johnson is going. Stone swings and misses. Mujica's throw down to second, and plenty of time to get Matt Johnson. So a strike him out, throw him out to end the bottom of the 5th inning. We go to the top of the 6th. Blue Jays scoreless in their last 2 innings, lead 11-2.
Think about how good it feels when people really get you. Like the friends who come over when a big game is on, the neighbors next door who always bring your favorite buffalo dip, your in-laws who know you need silence during the clutch plays, and everyone who knows about your special post-win fist bump. It's kind of like having a State Farm agent like Paul Brooks. Paul is here to get to know you and understand your life, so he can help make it easy for you to protect what's important. Get an agent that gets you and your fist bumps. Call State Farm agent Paul Brooks in Wichita at 316-721-8181.
Sooner or later, you might need some extra storage space. When that day comes, Fleming's Mini Store All is ready and waiting. Fleming's Mini Store All has 5 locations and has been serving the Hillsborough and Marion area since 1990. They've got a variety of storage size options and can even handle boats and RVs. To learn more, just visit FlemingsMiniStoreAll.com or give them a call at 620-382-5550. Fleming's Mini Store All, the solution for your storage problems.
Back here on the top of the 6th inning, as you see the great view of the Penner Clubhouse, a wonderful indoor facility here at Tabor College that the baseball and even softball team has to utilize. And as Dawson said, to come here at all hours of the day and night to put in work is just a really good place to have for the community of this baseball team. As a first pitch strike thrown by Gerard is out there for his 6th inning, I should say.
Yeah, for sure. Very, very grateful and very thankful for that, for what people here at Tabor and the alumni provided for us. Can't say enough great things about them and just what they've given our baseball team to utilize and use, on and off this field, and just to add to this ballpark, this beautiful penthouse is awesome.
As Gerard from the windup breaking pitch hit sharply by McKenzie, a good play by Johnson. What a smooth play that was by the senior from Wichita.
Matt just kind of showing what he can do in all aspects. Last inning coming up and charging the baseball and making a really good play, and now just kind of making that drop step play right there. Just so smooth up there, and just in general our whole infield is just so smooth. And being able to, as a pitcher, to know, getting ground balls, you got an out almost every time is a really good feeling.
Gerard from the windup. Christian Perez hits that one sharply. Reed Millwood with the good glove at third to throw it over strongly to Josh Jones. Just like that, 2 quick outs here in the top of the 6th inning.
Drake doing a good job now. His pitch count was up there a little bit, but working really well right here. Was that 5 pitches so far this inning? That can really help.
Pinch hitting for Avila. Number 25, Brandon Williams.
Excuse me, 4 pitches this inning. Doing a good job right there, keeping his pitch count low, trying to get to that 7th inning. Maybe we can score a run, get out of here.
Breaking pitch in the dirt. And as you pointed out earlier, a couple of guys up in the Blue Jay bullpen, so this, you have to assume this is probably Drake's last inning of work, as he's still working for the wind-up 1-0 count to Williams. Looks at that one, called strike. 1-1 is our count.
Drake's velo staying pretty strong throughout this whole game, still pumping up the mid a little bit and doing a great job.
Ooh, you see right there.
Yep.
It's good to see a lively fastball in the later part. His pitch counts creeping in the 90s now.
Doing a great job attacking, though, this inning. Going right at guys. Utilizing that 9-run lead. Doing a great job as they call time again.
Coming into the game, his ERA was at a 1.41. That's risen a little bit, giving up 2 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings of work. Looking to go 6 innings here. Fastball just missed on the outer edge. Half the infield and half the people in Hillsborough running to the dugout thinking that was a call and 3rd strike.
It's been pretty consistent given that call. Maybe it's just that chalk not being too white right now. He didn't see that, but really good at pitch right there.
Gerard comes back with the 2-2 breaking pitch. Brandon Williams hits that one up the middle for a single. So a pinch hit by Brandon Williams will bring up Jake Verdon, who has a double and an RBI in the contest with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th.
Good pitch right there by Drake, but just a really good swing and staying level through right there by
Brandon Williams. As Verdon skies this one, is deep down the line to right field, bending towards foul territory, and out of the outstretched arms of Kelsey Weems, as you saw a good shot of the Blue Jay bullpen right there. As Gerard now working from the stretch, gets the head of Jake Verdon. And again, all these camera angles brought to you by all the guys in the control room, Mike Jameson, Oscar Salazar, and Desmond Barnes. And, of course, the sports information director, David Ediger, bringing all this stuff to you. All the great camera angles, broadcast, graphics you see on the scene. A lot of hard work goes into that, and we appreciate it. As Verdon watches a ball in the outside part of the plate, so 1-1 is our count. Fastball just misses again. Leo Aguilar shakes his head in disagreement, but we go to a 2-1 count.
wow.
Being squeezed a little bit is Drake Gerard in his 6th inning of work. As Verdon grounds that one to Matt Johnson in the hole. He's going to try to go the short way. A great play by Johnson to feed Stone, who makes the acrobatic catch, and that's going to end the top of the 6th for the Eagles. We go to the bottom part of the 6th inning. Blue Jays looking to tack on a few more, leading 11-2.
Create an estate plan that values what you value. The Biblical Estate Design Service from MB Foundation is a will planning service that brings your faith into the process of preparing a God-honoring estate plan. Many donors of Tabor College have used this service to create their plan and have chosen to leave a gift to the college, a gift that will have a lasting impact on future generations of Tabor students. Learn more at mbfoundation.com/Tabor and get started on your plan today.
MB Foundation, giving meaning to money.
Back here in the bottom part of the 6th inning, Blue Jays lead by 9, 11-2. Cleanup hitter Kelsey Weems, who already has a 3-run home run today, is coming to the plate.
Talk about Kelsey having a lot of pop. I got a pretty great goat sitting right next to me right now, Cody Steinman, coming up here looking pretty small. One of those guys who liked to swing the bat a little bit when he was here.
Right bicep looking like my right leg. As
Look
you
at
can
him,
see,
Cody. Get over here, Cody.
A great shot of Tabor alum Cody Steinman.
As you can
as
see,
Weems fouls that one off.
Oh, we're on there. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
you're on there.
Hey, guys. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm here.
Steinman put it several balls over the fence in right field in his time here at Tabor College, as Kelsey Weems is looking to add to his hit total this weekend, coming into the contest with the team leading 4 home runs. He's already added to that today as he hits that one sharply to the third baseman Hunter Reed, who makes a nice play again, throws it over to Clickenbeer to retire the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning. It's going to bring up Joey Witkowski. See his stats on the season. Witkowski today is 0 for 3. The only Blue Jay to not reach base in their starting lineup, so it's time to get Joey on the base paths as he bunts it down the third baseline, and it's going to be hooking, and it's a thing of beauty.
Heck of a bunt right there. I don't know if I've seen too many bunts like that where it's flown that high in the air and then just kind of rolled over there. Reed thinking it was going to have that backspin right there, kind of let it sit there and just didn't do what he wanted to do. Gave it a little nice kick at the end. I think that was a nice little play right there.
Can't think of more beautiful things in baseball than a bunt down the third base line that stays fair. Mm-hmm. Great bunt by Witkowski, who gives the Blue Jays a 1-out base runner.
I know Dominic Visitine's down there going nuts because he loves that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Dom had a few bunt singles in his heyday.
Yes, he did.
Don't see that too many times out of your catcher, but Dom definitely did it to perfection as the Blue Jay catcher now, Leo Aguilar, stepping to the plate. He's 1 for 2 in the contest. Had 2 home runs yesterday. Takes a ball low.
I believe he has a hit by pitch too today.
Witkowski does have 4 stolen bases on the season. As Aguilar hits this one, Morphew has a beat on it and straight away center field as he makes the catch, throws it back to the infield. Witkowski scampers back to first base, so 2 outs here on the bottom of the 6th. And Rudy Vasquez coming to the plate. Rudy continues to stay hot, 1 for 3 with a run scored and a run batted in. Does the junior from California have?
A little step off sidearm action right there for a pickoff. Something you don't see every day.
It's almost like, I don't know if you've seen the Joey Votto highlight of that double play ball. He just kind of steps and throws it over.
Joey really smart on the base pass, though. He's got a really high IQ out there, and his speed especially is definitely a plus.
2 outs, runner at first. Vasquez looks at a ball inside. 1-0 count. Cody White from the stretch looks back. Witkowski. Another ball low to Vasquez. Blue Jays haven't scored a run since their 7-run outburst in the 3rd inning. Another ball low, 3-0 count. Wonder if Jake Jones, the Blue Jays third base coach, will give Rudy the green light here.
It's a pretty good pitch, actually, right there. Lived low in the zone. I think it's just hard seeing it from that angle for the umpire to be able to call something like that, but not a bad pitch.
And a 4-pitch walk to Vasquez. Runners at first and second for the Blue Jays. It's going to bring up Reed Millwood, beg your pardon.
Pinch hitter.
It's going to be a pinch hitter for the Blue Jays.
Tanyan Schaefer, number 44, also known as Napoleon Dynamite, coming up to the plate. He's also got a flow just like Rudy.
Tanyan second on this Blue Jays squad in batting average, batting .375 on the season. Couple of extra base hits there, 4 runs batted in.
Especially in the last few weeks, Tanyan's kind of exploded at the plate. Kind of started off a little bit struggling, and now it just seems like his confidence has came out the roof with swinging, and he's looking really good right now. His approach at the plate has been really well, being able to hit it from both sides of the field too. Good chance for a 2-out hit right here for him.
First pitch fastball from Cody White. 0-1 count with runners at first and second. White has been pretty solid here in relief.
Doing a good job at keeping the ball low, kind of like we were talking about just a little bit ago.
Just misses the outside part of the plate with that pitch. Much like 2 of Gerard's pitches the last half inning, just missing the outside part of the plate. Both teams have 5 hits apiece. The discrepancy, however, is in the run column. Blue Jays have 11. Avila has 2. Tanyan fouls that one back. 1-2 count.
It's like Tanyan showing off the new mustache march right there. Looks like he finally actually shaved. I didn't even realize that. Sounds like we got a bunch of guys wanting to do that. I'd show off mine, but, you know, still working on it.
Old mustache march. Schaefer hits that one to the left side, but right to Jerome McKenzie. Solid contact by Tanyan Schaefer, but the Blue Jays, with their 3rd consecutive scoreless inning, we go to the top of the 7th. Blue Jays leading by 9, 11-2.
Think about how good it feels when people really get you. Like the friends who come over when a big game is on, the neighbors next door who always bring your favorite buffalo dip, your in-laws who know you need silence during the clutch plays, and everyone who knows about your special post-win fist bump. It's kind of like having a State Farm agent like Paul Brooks. Paul is here to get to know you and understand your life, so he can help make it easy for you to protect what's important. Get an agent that gets you and your fist bumps. Call State Farm agent Paul Brooks in Wichita at 316-721-8181.
Kind of as we expected now here in the top of the 7th, we have Cody DeRozier coming in to pitch for us. Only thrown a couple innings this far, but looked really well. Kind of another one of those guys, just like last inning, a sidearm type of action guy, but he's from the left side. Works really well down in the zone and has multiple pitches to work with his fastball and his changeup and a really good slider that he also has. Lots of movement on every pitch, though, that he throws.
Leading off for the Eagles in the top part of the 7th inning is Andrew Mujica, the catcher who replaced Zach Linson 2 innings ago.
Good thing you see here, you got Drake throwing 84, 85 as a pitcher. Now you bring in a lefty, throws about 78, 79. It's going to be really hard to get adjusted to that.
As a great catch, oh, beg your pardon, just trickled away. When Weems got up, I thought he was celebrating that he caught the ball, but just out of his outstretched arms was that. It's going to be a single for Mujica. There'll be a courtesy runner coming in for him. And as you see the replay, just missed. Got to work on my eyesight from up here. Getting a little old.
37.
It's going to be Jacob Nivels. It's going to bring up number 28, Henry Morphew, the center fielder.
Kelsey made a good read on that ball. That ball was just kind of hit softly and just in a perfect spot.
Yeah.
One of those duck snorts, like we like to say.
It's going to be a lefty-on-lefty matchup here. Morphew batting .373 on the season against lefties. He's batting .320. Fires 2-0 count to Morphew. Blue Jays trying to hold the Eagles here in the top part of the 7th, up 9. Once the Blue Jays, if they in fact get up 10, the game will be called as that ball misses outside 3-0 count.
Cody kind of struggling here. Looks like he's kind of flying open right here with his pitches, missing a lot outside. Just got to find that spot where he feels comfortable. Yeah, this is his first time throwing here at home live, so that can never know that plays a factor. But
And talk about what he I know you talked about it a little earlier, a little bit slower than Gerard, but what pitches does he like to feature?
And kind of like I said earlier, he's got a two-seam fastball mixed with his changeup that kind of tails a lot, and then a really decent slider. All his pitches just really move when he throws them, just especially coming from that bottom side angle right there on the left side, looking like half submarine. And he usually does a really good job at keeping the ball low. Working his way back right here, 3-2 count.
As Nevels is going and the ball slapped to the third baseman, and he's going to make the long throw over to first. A really strong throw.
Yeah, Reed made a really good throw right there.
No chance to get the runner at second that he was stealing, but good throw to retire the runner at first. So 1 out, runner in scoring position for the Eagles. Is going to bring up number 18, Trace Clickenbeard, who has a couple of hits today.
Really good job by Cody, too, right there, coming back from a 3-0 count, staying strong and not kind of giving in right there. Worked on that, found his – looks like he's on the far right side of the mound. He moved over right there. He was on the left side. Trying to make that adjustment on the mound, just got on the go, and did a good job right there.
Another lefty-on-lefty matchup as DeRozier fires ball outside with Nevels at second leading off.
Really good curveball right there.
Breaking pitch hits in the strike zone for a called strike. One's across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. Blue Jay defense playing straight up with Johnson creeping towards second. Breaking pitch just misses outside. 2-1 count.
Just looked like it was right on the edge right there.
Last few innings, that call hasn't been going either team's way on the outer edge of the plate. DeRozier misses again, so count runs to 3-1. The previous batter goes down 3-0, batter back to get a ground out to the third, so trying to reenact that. Wind is died down again here, not blowing in anymore. Trace Clickenbeard, can't think of many better baseball names than that. Digs in from the left side. DeRozier fires high, is going to walk Clickenbeard. So runners at first and second with 1 out. With Hunter Reed, the third baseman, coming to the plate. Hunter has a home run in the contest way back in the 2nd inning. Been on base twice, the other time via the walk.
See if Cody can get out of this jam right here. Good first pitch.
Just missed a little bit low, called ball to Hunter Reed. It's a dangerous hitter. One of the best hitters in this lineup, one of the best hitters this weekend for the Eagles. Pair of home runs in the series. Blue Jays, of course, looking to clinch the season series against Avila as Reed grounds that one foul down the third baseline. Won 2 games yesterday in a doubleheader. First game really exciting. Won it in dramatic fashion, scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning, eventually winning 8-6. Second game a little bit different, just a little bit. Blue Jays won, I believe, by a final score of 27-6.
Reed really early on that pitch. See if Cody utilizes changeup right here. He did, but
Runners are going to advance 90 feet as a wild pitch in the dirt. Leo Aguilar was not able to handle that one, so runners now at second and third for Hunter Reed. Ducks on the pond to lead to his team leading 14 RBIs on the season. Ball almost hit Reed. 3-1 count. And a walk. Bases are now loaded for Grant Burns, a shortstop, as DeRosia struggling just a little bit with location. 1 out now with bases loaded. Grant Burns, who is 0 for 2 with a walk in the game, looking to put some runs in the score column for the Eagles.
see if Cody can work it right here and get a ground ball double play.
Swinging a foul back. Good first pitch by DeRosia. I would assume there's a lot of guys in the dugout, Mr. Jameson. You mean? DeRosia now working from the windup with the bases loaded.
Good first pitch curveball right there by him.
Another swinging strike by Burns. Good pitch by DeRosia. Way to get ahead 0-2 with the bases loaded.
There's that changeup right there. Just utilize that pitch really well, especially when you got a righty up there. Being a lefty, being able to use your changeup to get guys off balance. Most righties aren't used to seeing that all the time. Did a great job right there, keeping it low and away in the zone.
Just misses low. 1-2 count now. A couple guys up in the bullpen.
Looks like the bullpen and down by the Blue Jays side is getting hot. Austin Mickles looks like to be getting warmed up. Not sure, maybe he'll be coming in after this or depending on what happens here.
Grant Burns is going to line that one down the third base line, just foul. So we'll do the 1-2 count again. Breaking pitch had Burns just a little bit out front and off balance. A good stop by Leo Aguilar on that ball in the dirt. Count goes to 2-2. Saved a run with that play.
Leo always working hard back there. Does a really great job of utilizing his athleticism with being able to block balls and getting around on the baseball.
From the windup from the left side, DeRosia fires the ball in the outside corner. Called third strike for the second out of the inning. He's going to bring up the left fielder, Jerome McKenzie. Big pitch right there, as you said, from Cody DeRosia.
Huge out right there. Not only a confidence booster, but does a great job of not letting any runs score. Now you got 2 outs where fielders can back up and make a throw across the diamond.
And you talked about this morning, Blue Jays Medford Chapel, and you said Cody led that this morning.
Cody is, even for me, been a really great role model. Does a great job being not only just a leader for part of this team, but a leader spiritually.
And another implant here in Hillsboro, native of Kelso, Washington. Just missed the outside part of the plate on that one.
Once again, that spot hitting that kind of outside corner up, not wanting to call it. Must be getting a little tired back there.
From the windup, a 1-1 count now as McKenzie grounds it sharply to Stone. He is able to make the play, and DeRosia gets out of the bases loaded. 1-out jam in the top of the 7th. Blue Jays are up 9 going to the bottom of the 7th, 11-2.
Sooner or later, you might need some extra storage space. When that day comes, Fleming's Mini Store All is ready and waiting. Fleming's Mini Store All has 5 locations and has been serving the Hillsborough and Marion area since 1990. They've got a variety of storage size options and can even handle boats and RVs. To learn more, just visit FlemingsMiniStoreAll.com or give them a call at 620-382-5550. Fleming's Mini Store All, the solution for your storage problems.
Got a pinch hit appearance right now from Shannon Johnson, the Nassau, Bahamas native. Speedy senior. See his statistics on the screen. Batting from the left side. Blue Jays just need a run to hit the 10-run mark.
Shannon had a good hit yesterday up in right field center gap.
Almost
Nice
lapped.
double.
He was on his way to third, almost lapped the base runner in front of him.
Yes. He was excited about that hit. I think he thought it might have been out, too. By the looks of it, it was close. Put a really good swing on it.
0-1 count as Cody White's still in the ball game for the Eagles. He's gone 2 innings of scoreless relief, much needed for Avila. Wind now picking back up, blowing from left field to right field, slightly in as White from the left side as Johnston lines a hard hit to Jerome McKenzie, playing him perfectly in left field, and lines out for the first out of the inning.
Good swing right there. Just didn't place it right.
Pat Bethea, the leadoff hitter, now is going to come to the plate. Pat's 0 for 2 with an RBI and 2 walks. Been on base a couple of times. Looks at a ball down low. Be nice to get Pat on here. Maybe see him run the bases a little bit. Again, Eagles play him straight up, but very shallow in center. Nice breaking pitch right there from White. Gets Bethea off balance, called strike, 1-1. Ball low, 2-1 is our count.
Pat doing a good job at not chasing after those pitches right there. I believe he has 10 walks on the season. Does a really good job at taking pitches and seeing pitches and getting those pitchers' pitch count up.
Strike on the inside part of the plate, 2-2 count now. Good pitch from Cody White. Been really solid.
Yeah, 9 base on balls this season.
Bethea hits this one to deep right center field, carrying well, and it's going to be off the very top of the wall. He's going to be in with the stand-up double, just missing a walk-off, technically home run, and the ball is actually thrown over both cutoff men, matriculates to the third base line, and Bethea never stopped running, presence of mind all the way to third, so a nice opportunity here for Matt Johnson, who's really had a great weekend swinging the bat and fielding the ball. Matt Johnson's 2 for 2 today with an RBI, 2 walks, been on base every time he's been up, and that's just, you see the replay there, just waiting back on it, showing his power off, driving it to the right center field gap. Was Bethea really needed? Hadn't had a hit all day today. That one's going to be scored as a double and a throwing error in the score sheet. I hear that. Yeah, that's the ending run. So infield in for Avila with the walk-off, quote-unquote, run at third base. And I thought Morphew's, the center fielder, has been playing shallow all weekend long, but he's taken several steps in. He's playing, especially with Bethea at the plate. You can't play too deep with him and expect to throw him out of the plate on a sac fly.
Kind of surprising. Not sure how he wants to throw a guy out being that close up. I know he wants to get a chance, but if you have to go back on a ball a little bit, there's no way you're getting a running start for that. Just like that.
And Matt Johnson hits a screamer down the third base line for his third hit of the contest. Bethea trots in from third, and that is going to do it here. Your Tabor College Blue Jays opened KCAC Conference play 3-0 as they sweep the Avila Eagles 12-2 here in Hillsboro. We will be back Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m. Central Time as Tabor College hosts the Bethany College Swede in the fourth conference matchup on the season. From Charles Beal and Dawson Dreyer, goodbye.